Today, we're going to talk about this book again, Think and Grow Rich. In particular, I'm going to talk about my favorite chapter, chapter 11, the mystery of sex transmutation.
Hey, Tom Peng, love what you're doing on your channel, buddy. Super congrats. Giving your time and energy to nonprofit business channel. Look, man, keep driving that audience. So, Tom Peng, look forward to spending some time with you. I know you got the right mindset, so I'd love for you to share some of that from the big V. God bless, be great. 10X.
Think and Grow Rich. This is probably the most successful business book ever written. I think it has been sold 200 million copies, I believe. It's either 20 million or 200 million, I can't remember. But it's one of those books that have the highest readership. They sold the most copies, probably next to the Bible. Because what everything says in this book is true. It is so true. Like, for example, okay, let me just point this out. Here's a little quote in the book that says, happiness is doing, not just possessing, okay? Something to that effect. Happiness is in the process of doing, not just like possessing something. You own something, it doesn't make you happy, but it is the process of doing. Even business or money or women or girl or relationship, whatever it is. I'll give you an example. When you do something for your family, for your kids, for your wife, that is happiness. It's not that you possess your girlfriend or your wife, or you possess, like you own them. That is not happiness for you or for them. But anyways, I'm getting off topic. Today, I'm going to talk to you about chapter 11. Chapter 11 is the mystery of sex transmutation. It is really my favorite chapter for many, many reasons. But before I get into that, right, let me just tell you a little bit more about this book. This book was written by Napoleon Hill, and he wrote this book because he wanted to figure out what really successful people do. Like, what are their traits? Why are they successful? He wanted to find the ingredients of successful people. That's why he interviewed a lot of successful people, including Thomas Edison, including Andrew Carnegie. And Andrew Carnegie is undisputed the world's richest person in history. He was a manufacturer of steel during the early 1900s and late 1800s. Because there was a lot of demand for steel. Back then, everybody wanted to build railroad. Just like today, everybody invests a lot of money into internet because that is the big thing today. But 100 years ago, everybody wanted to build railroads because that's how you connect people. That's how you connect businesses. That's how you can ship products and services through railroad. So that was big business, and he was making the commodity steel to allow the railroads to be built. Andrew Carnegie is the richest person in history. And he also interviewed many other different, very successful people. And after 25 years of that, he wrote this book. And everything in this book came from those interviews with those very successful people. And Andrew Carnegie introduced Napoleon Hill to all of them. And the first chapter talks about thoughts are things. Basically, what that means is thoughts becomes reality. You have to believe it first. If you believe it, then you can achieve it. If you believe it, you can achieve it. And then the second chapter is desire. Just because you believe it is not enough. You need to have absolute, overwhelming desire. You need to have it so bad. You wake up thinking about it. You go to sleep thinking about it. You can't sleep. You cannot eat. You cannot do anything other than what you want to achieve. It's always on your mind. You have so much desire. It's like how much you want to play video games. It's like how much you want to fuck the girl from high school. It's that kind of desire. You gotta want it so bad in order for you to achieve, or in order for you to get what you want. And then there's like many other chapters. Somewhere in there it tells you to take fucking action. You have to take fucking action. If you don't take fucking action, nothing's gonna happen. You gotta take fucking action. If you read this book, you'll find, whoa, Tom's rules are actually pretty close to this book. And it's not a coincidence because successful people think alike. But today I'm gonna talk to you about chapter 11, the mystery of sex transmutation. My favorite chapter, really. I will save you time. You don't even have to read it. I'll just explain it to you. Basically, what this chapter says is this: humans want to be loved. Humans, like animals, we have a genetic programming down to our DNA that we need to fuck. All right? That's what the chapter says. We need to fuck. And that's programmed into us, because if we don't do it, our species dies. If we stop fucking, there will be no babies. And then the human race will cease to exist. Hence, this desire to fuck is very strong in us. And it's our most strongest, most powerful desire is to fuck. To be loved, but most importantly, to be fucked. And in fact, this book will tell you that the desire to be fucked is even stronger than the desire to be loved. You don't have to take the word of the book for it. We just have to look at what happened in the news recently. Bill Gates cheated on his wife many, many times with employees in Microsoft and Bill and Melinda Foundation. No surprise there. I don't know why everybody thinks it's a huge surprise, because when I was 20 years ago, I read Bill Gates' biography, and I already knew he was like taking employees from Microsoft, go to like cottages on the weekends. Actually, Bill and Steve Ballmer, both of them would take two other female employees into the countryside, into their cottages for the weekend. And then the press was wondering, what the hell are they doing? The press asked him about that, and Bill's like, nothing decadent happened. Now, there was nothing decadent about it. Right? Nothing bad happened, basically, is what he said. But we knew Bill is a pervert. All the successful people are, like all the ultra successful people are, because successful people have strong desires. And that means they need to fuck even more than the ordinary people. Bill's like that. Jeff Bezos. He also had infidelities in his marriage. He fell in love with a Latina celebrity, and next thing you know, another divorce. Elon Musk, we talked about that already. Elon Musk basically fucks all the A-list in Hollywood celebrities. He's fucking them all. I like his strategy. He just fucks them all, right? I think that's the way to go. Why pretend to be a responsible family man, being socially acceptable and all of that, and then everybody find out you're a pervert when you just act like a fucking pervert and nobody says anything? I think that's the right strategy. And Donald Trump, we don't even have to say too much about that, right? I can go on and on and on and on. I can talk about Donald Trump's infidelities. I can talk about Donald Trump and porn stars. I can talk about the royal family. I can talk about so many things. Basically, successful people that have very strong desires in everything that they do, whether it's to build a business or have a lot of sex, whatever they do, they have overwhelming desire to do it. That's why you see all these very successful people. They are human too. They have infidelities. They want to fuck a lot. And who blames them? I don't blame them. And I think that's just part of human nature. The more successful you are, the more likely you're going to have very strong sexual desires. And that's what this book is saying. And I can tell you that's 100% true. The more genetically programmed you're successful, the more desires you will have, and also the stronger sexual desires you will have. And that's just the way it is. What this book is telling you is that transmutate, transfer that energy, transfer that sexual desire into desires to accomplish things in your life. It could be business, it could be income, it could be, saving communities, societies, it could be saving the whales, saving the environment, whatever it may be. But transfer that sexual desire into things that will help you advance your career. There's a reason, and this book says that there's a reason why men generally don't become very successful until they're in their 40s. It's because generally men, when they're young, they just want to fuck all day. And I can attest to that as well. When I was, in university, when I was in my 20s, maybe even early 30s, I was very distracted by girls. Like there was a lot of girls in my life. And I was also running a business. I was actually doing quite well. I was doing custom software development. But if I just focused more on it, if I had more desire in my business, I probably would have scaled it even more. I would probably scale that business. Instead of making a few $1,000,000, maybe I could be making $100 million, maybe even like 10, 20 years ago. I could have accelerated my career business development if I could transmutate my sexual desires into my business. And that's what this book tries to tell you. That's why most men do not become successful until they're 40, because they're too distracted with sex in their early 20s and maybe early 30s. And that's a trap that I don't want you to fall into. I want you to think about how to transfer that energy, the sexual energy that you have, into doing something great for your business, your family, for whatever it is that you want to achieve, whatever it is that will make you feel successful. I want you to transfer that energy to that. I want you to think about the first time you fell in love, or maybe the woman of your dreams, or maybe if you're a woman, the boy of your dreams, the guy that you want to fuck. I want you to think about that guy or girl, or whatever, right? How do you feel about that person? You think about that person all day, all night. You cannot stop thinking about that person. You just want to put your dick in there. Or maybe you just want to spread your pussy wide open. You cannot stop thinking about that person and how you want your pussy to be filled. Well, that's because, again, it's in your genetic programming. You're programmed to need love, to feel love, and more importantly, to be fucked. Because that is the most powerful desire any human being would have. So I want you to transfer that energy into doing great things. And the earlier you can do that, the earlier you're gonna get results in your life. I wish I knew that earlier in my life so that, I would stay focused on the right things. I really did spend too much time like chasing girls, and that really curtailed my business development. If I only focused more in my business, I would be much, much bigger today. And I will have more girls now. I mean, it's just like you put in the work first to get the girls, or you get the girls first and then you put in the work. I mean, I think you put in the work first, get the reward later. The people that can defer the reward, work hard now and wait for greater reward later, those are the people that are going to be super successful. The people that want reward now and do the work later, generally they're fucktards. I don't want you to be a fucktard. Don't be a fucktard and take some fucking action. You know what to do about your sex drive now. Take fucking action.